Today, we're going to be looking at, one of the things we're going to be looking at anyway, is what makes a great deal for an investor. So we've been talking about all these deals. We've been talking about how we can find these deals. I've showed you how to even source some of the deals, but what makes that deal appetizing for that investor? What is that? What's going to make that investor hungry for that deal? So let's look at some of those factors. Buy BMV. So BMV is below market value. Investors are always looking at below market value deals. So if you can find them a below market value deal, then they'll be highly interested. What else are we looking at? Location. You've probably heard this 100 times. Location is very important. We generally look at properties that are around 1 mile, 1.5 mile radius, because they are more highly in demand because of the ability to transfer, to get quick transport links to the station or to the bus and things like that. So location is very important. Try to go for town centers within 1.5 miles from the town center. Condition, whether you're getting a property that's in a very good condition, so you can try and achieve a higher sale value to the investor, but then also the person selling also wants more money. So investors are also interested in properties that need work. They might need a refurb, they might need a lick of paint, they might need a new kitchen, new bathroom. We went through this the last couple of days in the training. If you haven't had a chance, you can go back and watch that training on that. But the condition is important, and you can use the condition as a negotiation tool to either negotiate the price down or, try and negotiate a little bit, or negotiate the commission fee that you're going to be charging the investor up, because the property is in good condition, so he can literally take it and rent it out immediately. Can you add value? Is there a way that you can add value to that property for the investor? Can you add a title? Can you add planning permission? Is there any way that there's a kitchen that could be added, or bathroom, or can a side extension be added? Can a loft conversion be added? All of these things are a value add. If you look into how you're going to package the property, then you can add that value for the investor, and they can see the potential. They say, oh, okay, we can add a loft conversion. It might add, it may be another £20,000 to do that loft conversion, but I can add another 40,000 to the property if it's in the right place in the right location. So is there a way that you can add value to that property? Is the property off market or on market? Off market means that it's not on with any agents. It's not listed on Rightmove. It's not listed on Zoopla. It's not listed on all those different prime property, all those different portals. It's actually off market. So this is what we call direct to vendor. Direct to vendor is when you go directly to the person selling, and then they can give you that deal. When they give you that deal is more valuable than it is with the agent. So that's another way of adding great value for the investor that will literally snap your hand off to get these kind of deals. But you can, once you're in a program, you can know how to find these kind of deals. They're all over the place, but you just need to know how to find them. What else makes a great deal? Is it compliant, HMO compliant? HMO is house of multiple occupancy. Now, does it have a license? Does it have all the fire regulations in place? Does it have the gas safety alarms? Does it have the electronic wired alarms? Is it compliant? Electric blankets, etc. Does it tick all the boxes for HMO? If it does, then that is likely to be a good HMO to package to sell to an investor. And if it doesn't, that's even better, because you can negotiate with the seller and get a discount on that property because it needs those things doing. And then you point these things out to the investor, so the investor can add value themselves and bring up the value of the property. So that is also very good to look at. Is the property tenanted? Now, tenanting goes into the different areas. The first thing when you're looking at tenants is, has that tenant been there for a long time? If the tenant's been there for a long time, it's likely that they're paying too little rent. So it may not be that having a tenant in there is a good thing. So it does depend on how much rent that tenant's paying. On the other hand, if it doesn't have a tenant, you could find a managing agent in the area that can supply that tenant, and you can add the value by doing that for the investor. So you can do some work for the investor, and this will also make it a great deal for that investor to purchase it from you. So you're doing this is part of the due diligence. You're doing some work You know, you're doing some background work. It's not just, oh, you get a property, oh, here you go, and you give it to an investor and he's going to give you £4,000 or £10,000. You do have to do a bit of work, but the work is mostly desk work, due diligence, it's electronic, it's phone calls. It's not very difficult to do, but you need to know what you're doing and how to do it. So is it tenanted? Yes, no. If it's not, how you can tenant it. If it is, then is a tenant paying the market rate? Management agent, does it have a management agent in place? Is there a management agent looking after that property, or is it, you know, no one's looking after the property, no one's collecting the rent, etc.? So if you add a management agent to that package, it would increase and give a better value for the investor. Do you have builders in place? I mentioned earlier on that some work may need to be done, so you could source the builders for the investor and put it as part of the package as well. Are you charging a reasonable sourcing fee, or is it very extortionate? So you need to know how to price that sourcing fee to make sure that it's palatable for the investor to take off you.